YouTube, Shinobird is cracked in Duel Links. And how are they cracked? Well, they're split into two different groups, the level 4 and level 8 rituals. The level 4s add your spirit spells and traps and ritual monsters from deck to hand, while your level 8s clear the board. So, Shinobaroness Peacock adds one spell from your deck to your hand that mentions a spirit monster. And then Shinobarren Peacock adds a ritual spell and spirit monster from deck to hand on ritual summon. So that's really, really good. And then, when they're both banished from the graveyard, they special summon themselves during the next standby phase. Then you have your Shinobaroness Peacock, which is your level 8, which non-target shuffles up to 3 spell or traps your opponent controls in the deck, like Boxia, but doesn't target. And then you can summon a spirit monster from your deck. So you can get rid of all your opponent's back row very easily. Then you have your Shinobarren Peacock, which can bounce up to 3 monsters non-target on your opponent's field to the end, then special summon a spirit monster from the end. Both effects, both ritual monsters, I should say all ritual monsters, bounce themselves to the end during the end phase, but your 2 level 8s when bounced will summon 2 tokens to your field that are level 4. Very relevant for ritual summoning on your opponent's turn, but we'll go more into detail about that a little bit later. Then we have Aritama, Nikitama, and Sakitama. These are your 3 ritual main spirit monsters of the deck. Aritama can add any spirit monster on normal summon from deck to hand. Sakitama can give you, and Nikitama can give you an additional normal summon, as well as Sakitama being able to add a spirit from graveyard to hand when tributed, and Nikitama being able to draw a card also when tributed. So very, very good. Then we have our spells and traps. Stars Align Above the Shrine is very broken. It allows you to ritual summon by tributing a monster on the field from your deck, so you can summon out your level 4s that way. Much like Megalith Fold, but we don't have that in Duel Links. I could also summon out your level 8s, but most of the time you're summoning out your level 4s. So you tribute one of your level 4s, summon out your level 4, and bang, it's on the field to get your searches going. And then you have a second and third effects, which allow you to set your Milky Way from your deck, as well as add a spell or trap from grave to hand. Add a spell from a ritual spell from grave to hand, or a spirit monster when a ritual monster is returned to your hand. If you return 2, you can use both of those effects. If you return 1, you can use one of them. And then you have your ritual spell, which allows you to banish a material from your graveyard to ritual summon. So, much like Vedred Origin, it can do that, and then just summon out your ritual monster. And then you have Milky Way, which allows you to ritual summon on your opponent's turn by sending your Shinobird's Calling from your ritual spell from hand to grave. So, really, really good. Our skill is Shinado's Judgment. This skill is absolutely cracked. During your opponent's turn, if they control a monster, during your turn, if they control a monster, you can set Shinado from your field to your, from outside your deck to your field. It's basically a Flame Wingman effect, not really very relevant, but 3300 beater. And then can add Change of Heart from outside your deck to your hand. So you don't know what Change of Heart does, and you haven't been playing for a while, it just takes your opponent's monster. It does target, but cracked board breaker for free. Then you have your other part of the skill, which allows you to reveal up to 2 spirit monsters or ritual spells, and then shuffle at least 1 into the deck, and then add that many you reveal to your answer. If you reveal 2, add 2. If you reveal 1, add 1. Here's the deck list. On to the gameplay. Okay. Here we go. Now, by the power of magic, we're already ahead in this gameplay. He's made his board, and we're going to summon out our Shinado with our skill. So Shinado comes out, he has a monster, we're going to do that. Okay, so now, if he pops our Shinado, we will not get our Search of Change of Heart, but that's okay, we force a disruption here anyway. Then we're going to chain our Final Bringer, targeting his Shao, so we're going to stop his Omni. So how many disruptions does he have? Potentially 6. An Omni, a Pop, a Monster to Gate, and 3 back row, which we do not know about. Now we're going to use Shinado's Judgment, revealing 2 to add both our spirit monsters that we want. We're going to summon Nikitama into Aritama. He'll negate here, which is fine. And then we bait the negate, because by baiting it, we summon out Exiton Knight. And Exiton Knight says, boom! Bye-bye board. Now, we don't deal damage that turn, but that's okay. We're all set up to have disruption on his turn. Set up potentially a ritual summon on his turn to interrupt him with by using our Stars Align Above the Shrine. And yeah, board broken. Alright, by the power of magic, we're here. So, we're going to activate our skill, summoning out our Shinado. Now, how many disruptions does he have? He has 5. He has a pop with Life Extreme, which he can pop our Shinado, plus 4 other disruptions on the field. So we're going to force this pop now. Then we can chain our final bringer, destroying, but not destroying, but forcing out another disruption. So he adds the double evolution pill, or Physical Atlas. Now we skill. We get our Aratama and Saki. We bait him with pre-prep. We should have did this before we revealed the skill, so he knows we don't have targets, but he doesn't know if we have targets. So he negates Aratama, which is fine. Okay, so he's gonna go Unicorn to go after our Stars Align above the Shrine. But we're not done. Here comes Utopia Double. Into Leo Ray. And OTK. Okay, so this is Heroes. Here comes Shinado. Alright, so he pops with the level 10, which is fine. Does not want us to get our Change of Heart. Again, we're already threatening Exciton. He droplets to negate. Okay, so no more Exciton threat. But what we're going to do now is we're going to Ritual Summon. Here comes Peacock. And Peacock, like I said before, is going to threaten instantly to spin his whole deck. Now his Wind Reaver will pop us. But not his whole deck, but his monsters to his hand, I should say. Okay. Now we use our Shinobird's Calling to Ritual Summon by banishing from our graveyard to summon our Shade Peacock. And our Shade will tribute to add our Ritual Monster and spell from deck to hand. And here we go. Bring out the Baroness Peacock. And we summon a mono from the deck, so if you would have Kyroid in hand, no more. So Hero had 1 disruption, the Armed Dragon was 2, and he had 3, 4 with the book, so yeah, about 4 disruptions there. If he said Super Poly, then he had 5, but I think he only had 4, because he has Super Poly. Okay, as a reference point, Dweller doesn't really do too much to us. It stops our draw effects, but and add it back, but that's about it. So we're going to Eclipse here, and the reason why is because this is going to force him to use one of his traps. He's actually going to lose his Anguish Pattern. You're about to see why. Because he has to set one of his traps back there, and the other one can't go back in the spell and trap zone, so he has to give up his Anguish Pattern. So now we're going to add Aratama and Nikitama. And now we get our Change of Heart. Nikitama will summon Aratama. Aratama will search. Then our Shrine will activate. Shrine tribute Nikitama to give us an additional draw. Into our Shade Peacock. Now we can summon Sakitama. And make our Dweller to prevent this Eldlich spell and traps from activating in the end phase. And then, come for it! Shinobaroness Peacock! Non-target, spin all the back row. And then a mono. Okay, this is a replay of us going first to show you what the first turn looks like. So we're going to add Aratama and our Stars Align above the Shrine here. Now, with a really good hand, you can end on like a rank 4 plus your trap with your Ritual Summon in the graveyard. Or you generally end on that plus a certain amount of text that you draw. It's very hand dependent. Sometimes it's just a Ritual Summon plus text. Sometimes it's the Exceed Summon plus a Ritual. It really depends. So you're always going to summon out your level 8 turn 1. You can even end on IP if you want to as well. So we're going to bounce. Now both of our ritual monsters are going to go back to our hand, which again, like I said, this is the most relevant thing. So in this case, we're going to end on the ritual summon plus attack. We want to do this against Dark Magician specifically because we want to be able to deal with the spells and traps. So we're going to bounce our Peacock and we're going to bounce our Shade Peacock to end. And both of our ritual spell effects are going to activate because we return 2. Okay. So there we go. Okay, he just ends up scooping here, but I wanted to show you what the turn 1 looked like. But we would have dealt with all of his back row. I think the safer one was probably to go for the other level 8. Oh no, we did go for the right 8. We went for the one that bounces the monsters. Okay, I think we went for the one that deals with the back row. Yeah, I was going to say, you wanted not the one that deals with the back row. You want to, turn 1, you want to go with the one that deals with the monsters. The reason why is that way you could try and survive the turn as much as possible and then go in on the following turn. But yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's our video. The next cog run I think I want to try is probably Dark Magician or Thunder Dragon. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. And until next time, it's your boy Shinobi signing out. Bye, YouTube.